Okay, it's the 25th of March. It's a Tuesday, and we got about 30 minutes to the NY Open. We'll get to the charts in a second. Just need to do a couple of things. Okay. All right. Let's start with the calendar. So we got no news today. We got no news today. We got no news tomorrow. We've in fact got no news this week, right? None of these news events are important news events. So they're not going to do much to price. They'll only basically add volume if they add volume. If they add volume, they'll add volume to the current direction of price, to the higher time frame direction of price, or the direction the session is heading in. They'll just add volume to that. They're not going to reverse price or anything. Okay, so there is no news today and tomorrow. Okay, so let's look at what happened yesterday. So the weekly candle, let's go back, let's go up a time frame. Just a second. Okay, so a weekly candle closed with a big wick at the top, rejecting 3050, and it closed right at 3023. So I would consider this a close at a price level is a close above that price level, right? Now, if it had closed definitely below, then that's a rejection of 3023, but this closed at 3023, so it's not a rejection of 3023, which is a weekly resistance level. It's a rejection of 3050, right? So we could be heading up towards 3050 and to fill the weekly wick. That's possible. Let's go down to the day. Now that's the information we have on the weekly, that we are bullish on the weekly. We've closed a bull candle with no bottom wick though, but we've closed a strong bull candle, kind of strong, not very strong, not as strong as this, but we've closed a bull candle above 3000 and 3023, but below 3050 with a big wick to possibly be filled. So that's the information we have on the weekly time frame. Let's go to the daily. A daily, the price, yesterday's candle uh, grabbed liquidity from above, closed below 3023, but did not get to 3000 and did not break the previous day's low, right? And it seems like we're trying to push back up. And are we going to, now the question is, are we going to close above 3023 today to continue higher for the rest of the week? Or are we going to reject 3023 again and push further down? Those are the two scenarios that we need to be anticipating or looking for, right? Is the daily candle going to close above 3023 and create that bullish momentum to head up back to 3050 during the week? Or are we going to reject 3023 again, come back down and head towards 3000 for the rest of the week? Okay, let's go to our trading chart. Sorry. Okay, so before I draw the zones, I always do a recap. Now, yesterday I didn't give any trade ideas. Yeah, I don't think I did. I don't think I gave any trade ideas. No, I didn't. But because we were waiting for volume to show up, right? And if you were here on the streams, you'd always hear me say, I want to see 15-minute candles that are roughly 45 pips or higher, right? That's when I know that volume could possibly coming in. I did take a trade off the streams just as after the streams ended because I did see a setup. And let me just explain that setup. So right up until here, there was nothing happening. I think somewhere here I ended the stream. I think possibly here or here. And then this candle, I think while this candle was probably still open, and this candle closed 50, just over 50 pip candle. And even the next one closed 51 pip candle. The same size, right? And that's volume. That's volume coming in, right? That's volume coming in. And we closed below, if you go to the 30-minute time frame, we formed resistance again and closed below the Asian high, right? So just go up, right? We closed below the, where's that? We closed, this is the Asian high. We closed below this Asian high again, yet again, right? But we couldn't take sells from here because I said 3023 is right there. So you either have to be selling at the top or you need to be selling below it. That's what I said. I kept saying this. If you're selling, you need to be you need to be selling up here so that you can have the momentum for price to come down and possibly break this, or you need to be looking to sell below this. If you're buying, you need to be buying down here, or you need to be buying above 3023 so that you can have the momentum. If you're buying below, you can have the momentum, the price to push up and possibly break this, or you buy above 3023, right? But don't buy just under it and don't sell just above it. So I didn't take any sells during the time of the stream because price was just above it, so I didn't take any sells. But after the stream ended, this 15-minute candle, went right through, right? The 30-minute candle closed here. We closed back below the Asian low, and this was the 15-minute candle. So the 15-minute candle that I'm referring to is this one, 1645 IC markets time. On the 30-minute time frame, it would be here. It would be in this candle, right? That 15-minute candle was inside this 30-minute candle. So that candle went right through, right? Cleared the way. It grabbed all the liquidity, most of the liquidity. We crossed the 50% mark. So this candle, this high liquidity candle is 52 pips. We came down 35, about 33, 34 pips. So we crossed the 50% mark. We grabbed the liquidity. Price pushed back up. And I took a sell exactly at 3023 because we had formed 30-minute resistance. We came back up here to this. I always like to enter above the start area, right? But I didn't want to enter there because 3023 was there. So I entered at it, and then the next candle, I entered at this candle, and then the next candle just dropped, and I got out at 3014, just under, I think 3014, I think at the Asian low or just under it, about 90 pips, right? Stop loss would have been about maybe 40, 45 to 50 pips and about 90 pips, almost 2 hour trade. Okay, that was the trade I took. I just wanted to explain the trade that I took because we were just waiting, and there was no setup forming um, at the time of the stream, so I had to take one outside the stream, right? And that happens. That happens sometimes, but I do try to give setups, but I didn't see anything happen during the stream, so I had to wait a little longer. And because this happened, I had to wait for. I kept saying, if you watch the last 10 minutes of the stream, I kept saying wait for either demand or supply to be cleared, right? Price needs to go through it. And that's exactly what happened. Price went through this, went deep, didn't go right through it, but went deep into it. Grabbed the liquidity, came back up for a retest. So that's when you would want to get in on the trade, okay? Let's get rid of all of these. Okay. So, Mm. Okay, looks like we're pushing up today. We're pushing up. All right, let's start with our zones. We've got a rally, 4 base-in candles, and a drop here. Okay, so start with that one first. That's the most obvious one. We're going to take a look at this on the lower time frame on the 1 hour, the 30 minutes, because price is crossing a very important level right now, 3023. Okay, and it's crossed it here as well. So I always say when price does that, either it crosses a weekly SR level or a BRN, you need to drop down to a lower time frame. Okay, let's do that now. The 1 hour. Yeah, we can bring it up here. That's the zone, right? That's a nice base-in candle. That's a nice leg out drop, and these are nice base-in candles. Let's put the numbers there. This close is 262, 348, 48, 262. Okay, I'm going to extend this to the right. That's from yesterday. I'll push it up so we don't overlap it. 348. All I'm doing is just extending these all zones to the right. Okay. Okay. Let's go to demand. Right. That's supply. Let's look at demand. We have a rally, a base, and a rally here. Okay, that's the most obvious one. This one right here. Okay, and then we have a drop and a rally here. So we're going to take a look at this area on the possibly the 1 hour time frame, so that we see the base. Yeah, there it is. Okay, you have this drop, 2 base-in candles, and a rally. Okay, so let's put the numbers down on this first. 196, 0751, 6. And this open is 712. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we have a rally, a base, and a rally, and then price came, tapped it, and it's pushing up again, right? But exactly where we were yesterday, right? But exactly where price was yesterday when the session started. Exactly, look at that candle. That's where the session, that was a 1 hour candle. If you go down to the 15-minute, yeah, very close to the weekly, to this weekly SR level. We're right there, right? So we could be pushing up today. Could be pushing up. Could come pull back and then push up. Okay, so this is a 4 hour zone. And this too is a 4 hour zone. And price, this was the original zone. Price has come deep into it. It was a 146 pip zone. We've come 114 pips into it. So let's get rid of that label. Okay. And this is 4 hour supply. And this is what's left of 4 hour supply. Okay, let's yeah, let's extend this to the right. That is yesterday's candle that we have drawn. Now price has it's a 100 pip zone. Price has come in, crossed the 50% mark, so I'm going to get rid of this label too, right? This is the zone, 100 pip zone. We've come 55 pips into it. Okay, let's just extend this to the right as well. These are all zones that I've drawn, and that should be good enough. I think we don't have any news today. Maybe just extend this as well. These old zones, if you want to see how they were drawn, you can watch any of my old streams. You'll find the first 30 minutes is when I draw my zones. So it's pretty clear during that. If you watch the first 25 to 30 minutes, it'll be very clear on how I draw my zones, these old zones. Okay, so those are the zones. Now we have kind of three new zones here: a new supply zone, a new 4-hour demand zone, so a new 4-hour supply zone, a new 4-hour demand zone, and a readjusted 4-hour demand zone. So we're going to take a look at these three zones and see if they are high liquidity zones, right? Let's go to the 1-hour time frame. Let's start with supply. Has this taken out demand? Yes. So this push down yesterday took out this demand. So we're going to label that a high liquidity zone, right? This one is no longer high liquidity zone. I already mentioned that the price has crossed the 50% mark. So once it does that, it's no longer a high liquidity zone, right? Just extend these also to the right. All right, this demand, one second, save this. Okay, so this demand here, has it taken out any supply? Just zoom in. This push up, yeah. So we had a drop, a base, and a drop. That's a clear supply zone. Was taken out not by this candle, but by this move up, right? This candle is what took it. Started here, so I'm gonna label this a high liquidity zone. Okay, and this zone here, we have taken off the label of it because price has come deep into it, has crossed the 50% mark, so that's no longer high liquidity zone, right? That's it. Now what I want to do is just clean up the chart a bit. Okay, perfect. Now the next thing that I do is I look for a high liquidity candle. Now we had one here yesterday that was based off of the 15-minute time frame, and price had tapped it in the London session. and then just before pre-NY, and we dropped, right? That was a nice drop from that liquidity candle, 300 pip drop. Now we're going to take a look at this area, this new area that we formed yesterday, and look for the largest bearish candle here. So far on the 1 hour, it's this. That's about an 84 pip candle. Let's mark that out. Let's go to the 30-minute. It's 56, 69. Still this one. Let's go to the 15-minute. It's a 54 pip candle. It's a 55 pip candle. $57. Yeah. Yeah, it will be this candle right here. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame very quickly. Yeah, that was the move down. Look at that move. 79, 80 pip move down. Yeah, that's it right there. It's very obvious. When you go down the time frame, you can see the continuous bearish candles pushing down. And here, even though there is a big candle here, you can see that there aren't continuous bearish candles putting down. So that is what I'm looking for when I say I'm looking for a high liquidity candle. I'm looking for where is the most amount of bearish volume in that zone. All right, that's what I'm trying to identify, because that's where price gets to and reacts to. 961398. 961398. Okay, so we're going to push this other zone up a little bit so we don't have it. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, you can see the reaction already there. We form 30-minute resistance. We're very likely forming 30-minute resistance. Yeah, we're possibly pushing down here. Possibly pushing down. Possibly pushing down. Let's see if 30-minute resistance here created. Okay, we still have about 6 minutes to the NY open. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at what price has done in the Asian and London sessions, and then that will give us a better idea what price could possibly do. What price could possibly do in the first 2 to 3 hours of the NY for the first the first 2 hours of the NY Open, right? So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we'll get to that straight away. Okay, I'll just leave this here on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. See where the market opened. Okay, this was the market open. Oh, sorry. Missed a couple of things. High liquidity candles here. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, we're forming 30-minute resistance here. We're going to wait for the first 15-minute candle to close. Yeah, not going to do anything until then. Yeah. Okay. So here, is there a high liquidity candle here? All right. On the 1 hour, it's this candle, but that's outside the zone. Let's go to the 30-minute. There is this candle, 68 pips. Yeah, the one on the side. This one right here. Two double 723. Yeah, that covers the entire zone, but that is the candle. Just a second. Okay. So, and below that, we have this zone. See if you have a liquidity candle in here. There's a liquidity wick. Grab prices come deep into it. We had marked this yesterday, but we haven't broken it yet. So I'm going to remark it right now. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame. It's 15-minute. 93 pips. Go to the 5-minute. Yeah, it's this 5-minute candle right here. This one. 606937. Okay. Those are the two liquidity candles now. All right. Now we form resistance. That's a good sign, but we're going to wait. We're going to wait for price for the 15-minute candle to close. Okay, we still have about 12 minutes. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing, where the market opened. So the market opened here. This will be the Asian low. $751. We are dropping already. Got a retest. Okay. This would be the Asian high. 490. And then this would be the London low. So 54. This would be the London high. 21. Okay. All right. So the Asian session, the market moved 72 pips, not much. And in the London session, we moved 105 pips. So not much of movement today, right? We're averaging about 370 pips the last 3 days. We moved about 190 pips already. So the market opened here. We had created this liquidity candle on the way up because price from the NY session, we were pushing up, right? So we created a liquidity candle on the way up. Price, yeah, it's dropping hard after 30-minute resistance was created. That's fine. We created this. The market opened here, came back, grabbed liquidity, pushed back up to the EMAs, created the Asian high, came back deep into that candle to grab more liquidity, pushed back up, retested the Asian high, closed above it, ranged a bit, went straight up, created the London high, came back down because we are bullish now, retested that candle, the liquidity candle again, created the London low, closed back above that liquidity candle and pushed all the way back to the London high. That would have been a great London trade to take during the London Open, to take that trade. It's a 100 pip move down and then it's a 100 pip move up and then continued further to the liquidity candle that we had marked and tapped it just before pre-NY, and in pre-NY we tapped it again, formed 30-minute resistance, and we've closed below the London low. Yeah, this would have been a trade to take, but I always wait for the first 15-minute candle to close. So yeah, so 30-minute resistance formed here. This candle closed at 15. Yeah, so making this This is how I would draw my fib, but we've come down already. Yeah, there was no price didn't come up, didn't come up. The market opened and dropped straight, so there's no entry. Price needs to make a pullback for me to enter. Otherwise, there is no entry. Yeah. So we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait for price. It's a nice drop, but without a pullback, there is no trade. Yeah. So this was a nice move, but no pullback. This, yeah, this is not enough. I want to see a pullback at least to 3023. Take a trade from here to come back down here. That's a 100 pip move. But off here, we just tapped the London high, and then we dropped. We're dropping probably down here, straight down, probably all the way down here. Yeah, coming down to the London low. Um, yeah, we're coming very possibly to the London low towards 3011, 3011. Yeah, so 30-minute resistance formed, price touched the liquidity candle, perfect, closed below the London high, perfect trade to take. Just wasn't there for me because I wanted to see a little bit of a pullback, at least to 3022.5 or 3023, and then come down. We're coming all the way down here. We should drop another 50, 60 pips. Yeah, for this trade, if I did take it, stop loss would be, safer stop loss would be here, above that liquidity candle high. So if I did take it here, that's a very wide stop loss, 87 pips. So I'm not comfortable with that. That is why I wanted price to pull back here. Yeah, 60 pips may be manageable, still too high. Maybe I would have had to have it up here, but price didn't pull back enough. That's just it closed and then dropped straight through. You just dropped 60 pips straight down. Yeah, there should have been I wanted to see a pullback. Now that's okay. If price drops, if it doesn't pull back and it drops, we might get a trade later on. Uh, could be a buy trade. Wait for 30-minute support to form at a liquidity level. There's a liquidity candle here. There's a liquidity candle here, and there's a BRN here. There's another liquidity candle down there. So wait for 30-minute to support to form at a liquidity level, at any one of these liquidity levels. All right, high liquidity candle, or a BRN, or a psychological round number, or a weekly support resistance level, or at the EMAs, right? Now we are at the EMAs right now, so that's not going to happen because price is at the EMAs right now. So for buys, you want to be looking here, any one of these areas. You want to wait for 30-minute support to form. Do not take a trade unless you see 30-minute support form, because price is ranging. If you look on the 4-hour, price is just ranging. We are back to the same place where we ranged for uh, an entire day, right? And we're back at that same place. So this is a range, right? We're just ranging. We're moving up and down. So wait for 30-minute or support or 30-minute resistance to form. We want to take sells, wait for 30-minute resistance to form. And that's exactly what we have here. We have 30-minute resistance form and a tradable 30-minute candle, a bearish candle that closed below the London high. Perfect trade to take if only there was a pullback. up here to take the trade to come down. That would have been great, but we didn't have that, so I didn't take the trade. Price dropped very quickly, 60 pips down, right? Okay, we've got about 10 minutes for the candle to close. Yeah, I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes because I'm waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. 15-minute candle has closed below 3018, so we could be pushing further down. No, not yet. We closed right at it. 3018.3, yeah. If it closed at 3018, then maybe we could continue closed above. Yeah, but we should be pushing down. Should be pushing down. We're close below the London high, so we should be pushing down to here, 3011. That's where we're heading to, 3011. That's another 60 pip drop. Okay, we're gonna wait for 30-minute candle to close. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we could be coming down. We could be rejecting 3023 again. Seems like that's what's happening. We're rejecting and coming back down. Are we heading towards 3000 again? Is the question. Like we discussed at the beginning, uh, is price going to, we discussed two scenarios. Is price going to reject 3023 and push back to 3000? Or are we going to close above 3023 today, which means it'll be a bullish candle close. So which means the NY session volume, we should have bullish volume to push above and close above 3023, so that we can head up towards 3050 to fill the weekly candle wick, right? So those are the two scenarios we discussed. Are we going to be rejecting 3023 today on the daily time frame and pushing back towards 3000, or are we going to close above it today, right? So let's see. I think we are pushing down, but it could come down, and then if we form 30-minute support, we could be pushing back up again. Yeah, we're heading down very quickly. We're heading down very quickly. I think we're going to get a trade later on. We're pushing. We pushed very quickly from here. Pushed way too quick. There was no pull back to 3023 or 3024 or 25 for price to come down. We just grab liquidity here and came straight down here. Okay, be back in a few minutes. We are getting a reaction right now at the Asian high, but we should pull back a bit and then continue down towards the London low, which is here. Let me just put a price level here, 3011. That's where we're heading to, 3011. And then possibly to 308. That's where we're heading. As I said, the only reason I didn't take this trade was because the stop loss, if I entered here, my stops would have been 85 pips, and that's way too big. Even though there's a high probability that price can come here. That's a 100 pip move. I'm not willing to take a 85 pip stop loss. Yeah, 30-minute candle has closed strong bearish. Um, Below here, we might have a pullback and then continue down. Yeah, right now there is nothing. There is no trade that I can take because it's very simple. I want to take sells up here so that my stop loss is tighter or uh, as small as I can make my stop loss. And buys I want to take down here in demand, obviously. Price is right in the middle between the zones, so there's nothing to do right now. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Um, so again, even if price pulls back here, I'm not willing to take a trade now because the move has happened. right? Price has dropped over 100 pips, right? So after this candle, so let's take it from the high here, we've dropped 75 plus pips. So we could come down, but if I'm to take a sell here, if I'm going to give this zone a second chance, because the move's already happened, as I said, we've dropped 75 pips. If I'm going to give this zone a second chance, this area, this liquidity candle, then I want to see at least a 15-minute candle uh, close to reject and close below here, somewhere here, either below the London high or below the below weekly SR, below 3023. So it's got to be so basically what I'm looking for is 15-minute resistance to be created, a 15-minute tradable bearish candle to close for me to take a trade, because the move's already happened, right? So the ideal move did happen. So 30-minute candle closed below the London high, but there was no pullback. That was the only problem. There was no pullback. I was not willing to take a trade from here with a 85, 86 pip stop loss. So, but the setup was perfect, and we should be dropping to 3011, and then maybe possibly further down to 3. Now, if I'm to give this zone, as I said, a second chance, I want to see price pullback, create create a 15-minute bearish candle. So obviously, when it pulls back and creates a 15-minute bearish candle, that will be 15-minute resistance forming, and then take a trade to come down, right? Because the safest stop loss, as I always say, is above the liquidity candle high. That's the liquidity candle that we identified before the session started. Uh, I think before the NY Open started, before NY Open, that was the liquidity candle we identified, and a stop loss above that would be the safer stop loss. A more aggressive stop loss would be above the 30-minute candle high that created resistance, which is this one, above this high, above 3026.5. Okay, so I'll be back in a 2-3 minutes, because right now price is in the middle. There's nothing I can do. I can't take sells and I can't take buys. Obviously no buys, because price hasn't got to demand or got to a liquidity candle yet. So I'm not going to buy, and I can't sell because price has already moved away from the zone. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so still we got nothing. Yeah, can't take sells here. It's too far away. Gonna have to wait. There was quite a bit of volume though. The 60 pip candle. So there is volume today. It's 48 pips. This one is about 34 pips. Yeah, this is not much, but that was volume right off the bat. There was volume. It's a 60 pip candle and then a 48 pip candle. So there was volume NY open. So we could see volume continue during the NY session. We just have to wait. So for sells, where did this stop? Oh, price tapped the liquidity candle during the London session. We tapped it. So it does not need to tap it again. But it has to create 30-minute support. Price to pull back, to push up. Let's see. There's nothing we can do now. Price is in the middle of supply and demand. There's nothing to do. Got to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. Yesterday we were here, we ranged, and 1645 we got, yeah, might get a move later on. Yeah, this is possibly the pullback until the NYSE open. We got NYSE open in about 40 minutes. So this is possibly the pullback, and then we may get a continuation because price hasn't come here yet. It hasn't come down yet. So it can't create 30-minute support here to push up. No. This candle has no bottom wick as well. So this could be the price ranging until NYSE open. So for the next 30 minutes, we might just range. Yeah, this candle is very likely going to push back up, break this high, maybe continue higher. Yeah, we have to wait. There's nothing to do. Yeah, there's no volume. 17 pips, this candle. There was volume right off the bat with NY open. We dropped over 75 pips, and then we've just volume has just died down, and we're just ranging now, probably till NYSE open. Um, 61. Yeah. Yeah, pushing back up. Like I said, to take sells, I want to see a 15-minute resistance created and a tradable 15-minute candle to close, bearish candle to close, to take those sells to come back down. Um, yeah, we formed 30-minute resistance already, but if we close a bull candle here, then we'll want to see 30-minute resistance form again. And I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to close a bull candle here. This candle is not going to reject and come all the way down in the next 6 minutes. Or will it? If it does reject, come all down, you possibly could take sells, but that's going to be a wide stop loss above the 30-minute candle high. Take sells to come down here. I think we're pushing up. We're pushing up. These EMAs are very close to each other and possibly going to cross. Yeah. But right now, nothing. Yeah, right now, nothing. It's going to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. I think we're closing back bullish. Look at the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, we could go through this zone. This is no longer a high liquidity zone. We could grow right through this. So we're gonna wait for 30-minute candle to close. Yeah, I'm not really comfortable. No bottom wick, did not come lower down. It didn't need to because the London session price came and grabbed liquidity from the liquidity candle, so it doesn't need to come back down again. But still, it's way too close to supply, and that's still supply. That's still supply. We haven't broken through that yet, so that's still supply. Yeah. The 30-minute candle is coming all the way back. tapped tap this. No, I'm not willing to take a trade here. The candle is closing strong bullish. I need to see a 15-minute resistance form to take sells. You have to see candles close in your favor. You can't open trades when candles are closing against you. This candle is about to close in a couple of minutes, in about a minute and a half. And so far it's closing strong bullish. So far. It could come down in the next minute, but we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Wait for the candle to close. But there is volume. It's moved up 48 pips. Similar to this, 48 pips. We moved up just a minute and a half for the candle to close. Um, yeah, you gotta wait for the candle to close. But I'm not really, if it closes above the London high, um, obviously there are no buys because we're at supply, and we got 3023 just above, so there are obviously no buys. But there are no sells either for me. For me, there are no sells because I'd like to see at least, like I said many times, a 15-minute candle close, rejecting 3023 below that or below the London. Either it can be below this 3023 or below this. That's fine. But I want to see a candle close in my direction, not against me. You don't want to open trades when candles are closing against you. Whatever system that you're trading. If you're trading the way I trade, if you're trading an indicator, even if you're trading anything else, just based off, any price action, don't open trades when candles are closing against you. Yeah, we're closing above. We closed back above the London high. But you gotta wait for the 15-minute candle to close. The 1-hour candle is also closed above the London high. It's a liquidity wick, scrub liquidity. Yeah, there's nothing so far. Created 30-minute support. We created it in just above the Asian high. And we're trying to push up. Yeah, pushing back up. There is nothing today. And I said this, I said this last week, and I said this yesterday also. It is the last week of the month. Um, the market's slow, right? Yesterday we moved 300 pips, right? That is just just good enough for gold. Just enough for gold. It's not it's not good volume. It's just enough. Um, Previous week, Friday, 479 pips. Thursday, 320, 370, 380, 290. Okay, 390. Right. Volume is dying. These EMAs are just about to cross, and once they do, we might have a pullback and then a continuation up. Um, and price has gone through this liquidity candle, right? You can see this. Price went through this, and then it's come back. It's 55. Come back less than 50% of the way. We could be going through this. We could go through this. But for buys, I would want to see a pullback and then take. I'm not going to buy here, obviously. I'm not going to buy in supply because 30-minute support has formed, but I want to see 30-minute support form just like how 30-minute resistance was formed. Price dropped straight. So I'm not going to buy here, right? When you have a supply zone, when you have 3023 just above, I'm not going to buy. So again, just like I said yesterday, do not buy just under 3023 and do not sell just above 3023. Don't do that. You want to be buying at it or above it, or you want to be selling, um, you want to be selling way above it or at it or below it, and you want to be buying way down here or at it or above it. You don't want to be buying just under it. We're just arranging. We're pushing above, we're pushing up. You're pushing up. Yeah, we're pushing up. We should break 3026.5 and head further, deeper into this liquidity candle. See, this is why, um, another reason why there was no pullback at the beginning for price to come back up. And if you watch this pair long enough, you'll notice uh, these nuances. There was no pullback here for price to come all the way down. We didn't grab liquidity. Once it came down, we didn't try to test 3023, grab liquidity for that big push down like we did yesterday. All right. If you were here at the beginning of the stream, I explained the trade that I took. Price made this big candle down and came back up to grab liquidity push down. That didn't happen here. Price just plummeted down 75 pips, 80 pips, and now it's coming back to possibly break this and head higher. Yeah, we're going to break 3026.5. We should clear this liquidity candle and head into this. Yeah, we're pushing up very slowly. Okay, so we're getting close to the NYSE Open. I don't see anything happening right now. Honestly, I don't see anything happening right now. Um, for sales, okay, here's the trade ideas that I'm going to give out. We've got about 10 minutes. Okay, let's just wait another 5 minutes. Wait another 5 minutes. I wouldn't take sells here. Yeah, I wouldn't take sells here. You have candles closing against you. You have a 30-minute candle closed against you. You have 15-minute candle close against you. I wouldn't take sells. Do not. I wouldn't personally take sells. I would not take sells. When candles are closing against me, I don't take sells. Candles need to be closing in my direction. Like this 30-minute resistance form, candle closed in my direction. If price pull back, trade to take to come down, but it didn't. Now you got to wait. If you want to take sells, wait for candles to close in your direction, in your favor, basically. You want to wait for at least, as I said before, a 15-minute bear candle to close, a tradable bearish candle to close, um, ideally below 3023, because then you can take trades from 3023, stop loss above above the liquidity candle, which is about 60 pips roughly, and then you can anticipate price to come back down here to 211. But you want to wait for a candle to close in your direction. There is another 12 minutes for this 15-minute candle to close. So it can pull back, create a wick, and go back up and close. So wait for the candle to close in your direction. It's going to wait for the last 5 minutes of a 30-minute candle, and then let's see if I can give out any trade ideas for the next couple of hours. The 4-hour candle, wow, scrub liquidity. Hmm. Yeah, we tapped the the London high, We tapped it. We tapped it perfectly. Trying to push back up. Okay, it's nothing happening. 15-minute candle, it's 35 pips. 7 minutes for the candle to close. Price has cleared its support. Okay, so here's what if we close a 15-minute candle, tradable 15-minute candle, bearish candle closes below 3023, a tradable 15-minute candle, not a doji, right? And not a big wick at the bottom and a small body candle at the top with a small wick, not that. A tradable 15-minute candle, close back below 3023. We can attempt sells from 3023, stop loss above here, above 3029.5, anticipating price to drop here, right? Back to 3011 or 3012, right? Okay. Um, that's the sell idea. Or if price comes up, then up here or up here, 30-minute, wait for 30-minute resistance to form, and a tradable 30-minute candle to close, a tradable 30-minute bearish candle to close to take sells to come down. Safer stop loss is always be above the liquidity candle high. A more aggressive stop loss will be above the 30-minute candle high that created resistance. For buys, cannot take buys up here. Gotta wait for this price to come deeper in and pull back, create support, and then go up. You cannot take buys up here. There's no way that you can take buys up here because we're in supply. No way that I can take buys up here. So that's a trade idea. So got 5 minutes for the candle to close. A 15-minute candle. If it closes like this, no sells. This is weak bearish candle. This is not, there are no sells here. If the candle closes down here, a strong bearish candle closes down here, tradable bearish candle forming 15-minute resistance, you can take sells on the pullback, ideally entries around 3023, stop loss above 3029.5 for price to come down. For buys, you got to wait for this liquidity candle to be taken out, ideally taken out completely, or at least majority of it to cross the 50% mark, then pull back, and then wait for 30-minute support to form and take a trade to go up. Those are the buys. Yeah, so that's it. Those are the ideas. That will be the end of the stream. There is nothing happening for me. I don't like this. I don't like there's no volume. 15-minute volume has died. Look at that. That's a 34 pip candle. I need to see a big candle like this close. Then I know that there's bearish volume coming in. But this 30 pip candle, 35 pip candle, 34 pip candle, yeah, 34, 35 pip candle, not good enough for me. So yeah, so that'll be the end of the streams. So I've given out a sell idea, and for buys I've said wait for at least for price to push up, take the liquidity out in this candle because we haven't crossed the 50% mark yet, right? That's just 25 pips, and that's a 55 pip candle. So wait for price to come deeper, then pull back, create support, and take a trade to go up. All right. So the 15-minute candle is still, it's not convincing. It should, you should see a larger of candle like a 45 pip candle, a big bearish candle somewhere. At least here, the VIX should have been down here with a strong bearish close somewhere here. Then yes, you can take the trade. But right now, the 30-minute candle is closing bullish, so very bad idea to take sells. And there are no buys because we're in supply. Okay, so no trade yet, no trade for me, but I'll probably come back in about 30 minutes. Yeah, I'll come back at about 10 a.m. EST and watch the charts, but that's the end of the stream. I'll be back tomorrow 7:30 a.m. EST, and we'll do our analysis, take a look at the charts and see if there is a trade for the first couple of hours of the NY Open. There is no news tomorrow, so you might get volume after NYSE, just like yesterday. You might get volume in the next couple of hours. That is why I've given out two ideas. For sells, what to wait for, and for buys, what to wait for. For buys, buys are preferred because price is pushing up, but wait for price to cross this high. Wait for price to cross this high. Wait for price to break this high. Then pull back and then take the buys. Right? Create support and then take the buys. All right, guys, take care. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care.